can't hide how excited I am. This is the most incredible fucking day of my entire goddamn life.
You know what we call this? Downtime.
Downtime.
We call this
slow news.
Slow News Week.
That's okay with me. That is
Oh, that's fine, because this is something we've been wanting to do for months now.
Well, we gotta lay off any jokes about sensitive issues.
Oh, I didn't know that my words could cause so much harm.
I know, but people are getting fired from their jobs at Breitbart for
The
making
most reputable of news sources.
for making lewd
I'm just reading
statements.
I'm just reading what's in front of me.
We're just reading what they told us to say about them now that we're affiliated with them. So we can never make any offhanded jokes about, I don't know, about touching children inappropriately.
The current president is going to be the best president. Huge. Better than China.
Because was it our last episode when I discussed my daughter opening up her jammy top?
Yes.
Because she's just learning how to do buttons.
Yeah.
So now it's like, oh, hey, I can close the buttons, and then I can open the buttons. So then as she's opening the buttons, it's just like, hey. But apparently, that could get you fired.
Oh, my.
For telling a story.
Oh, no.
Even though it doesn't mean anything beyond that.
Well, it's a good thing that we are still employed by only reputable news sources.
Yes. The melting pod.
Where I get all of my political news. Unbiased, fair, huge.
At least we're the most consistent.
That's what they say about us, isn't it?
I don't know, like, how can we make that our slogan? Like,
the most
skinny with Mike and Adam, the most consistent podcast on the Melting Pod Network, says the other two.
Says the owner of the Melting Pot Network. Hey, everybody.
Not the funniest.
Which we are.
Not the most American.
Which we are.
Not the most Canadian. Or the least Canadian.
We're getting there.
But the most consistent. Which is great because it just shows how we put so much effort into our lives.
That's right.
And then we shifted the consistency into our lives, into our podcast.
Just like all that sweet, sweet mama bird. Just got to keep feeding it, you know?
God
we keep feeding our audience. Just like today's episode 0225.
You got it. Finally,
yeah, there
for
you
once.
Go. I've been typing 224 a lot last week because I finally put the episode back on YouTube where it belongs.
Aha.
So, and I've been having a lot of issues with that. So now I remembered why I stopped putting it on YouTube.
Does YouTube want to keep kicking it off? Is that
No, it just takes freaking forever to upload a video, which already took me forever to render.
Now we're not going to be consistent.
No, I'll take care of it. It's cool. This last week was a holiday, and then I was home on the Monday because all the episodes go up on a Monday. So I was like, oh, I'll put it up today.
Right.
This shouldn't take long. It took long.
Is it interesting that the last episode was 225, and then the next episode was... Oh, sorry. The last episode was 25.
224. Today's 25.
But the last episode that went up on YouTube
prior 25, yes.
was episode 0025.
Correct, yeah.
And now it's episode 0224.
Five.
Whatever. That was almost 200 episodes that we went without
Hey!
YouTube.
Yeah.
We don't need YouTube.
Shut up.
They probably molest children.
They definitely do. That's you can put that on like our banner. YouTube definitely molests children. Mike from the Skinny with Mike and Adam.
/ the melting pot.
We're going to do something fun for you guys today, something we've been threatening. It's finally here.
I can hear the likes unclicking.
New bet. We're going to lose 200 likes by the but we're going to be sharing at least a portion of our top 100 albums
Of all time.
Okay?
Or,
Clarifications?
no, just of October 2016?
As of 2016.
I was going to say just being October 2016.
Sure, yeah.
And then we'll do July
Because I mean, where
2016.
did Metallica's last album rank for you in this number?
It was pretty poor.
Okay.
Hardwired to self-destruct.
That's definitely going to be
A
like
moth
your
into the flames.
That's
So
definitely your
said-
93 album, I believe.
It was down there. It was pretty low.
793.
It's probably less than 1,000 at this point.
Yeah, sure.
Did you see that performance they did on the Grammys with Lady Gaga?
No, I
Where-
read that Lars was really upset about it.
Well, James had no microphone for the entire first verse. And remember, the first verse takes up like 2.5 minutes.
Somebody should have noticed at that point.
I was like, why did they play this song at the Grammys when it's like 6.5 minutes long? And James had no microphone for the whole first half. And then, yeah, they got upset and everybody threw a temper tantrum. Lady Gaga, though, she like dressed like all, like heavy metal rocker chick.
Ooh, spikes.
Just like
Studded
torn up
gloves.
shirt, tiny shorts. The way that chicks should dress at shows
The way
in
I dress
1989.
it. Yeah, the way I dress at concerts, yeah.
Yes. Bare midriff.
That's me, yeah, same thing.
But you know how I feel about Lady Gaga. I
Hate-
definitely do.
Hate fuck.
Hate fuck. But then love fuck afterwards.
Cuddle fuck.
Cuddle fuck.
Yeah. But
Giant
much,
schnoz. I got a thing for big noses. I'm entering that stage of life where like normal looking girls are not appealing, and like
Yeah.
big noses for some reason are doing it for me.
well, you know what they say about girls with big noses?
Big vulva.
Yes. I was just gonna make the anti joke that they smell better than
Well, sometimes they get
Better
nose
senses of
jobs and
smells.
they're even hotter, like Ashley
Ashley
Simpson.
Simpson.
But anyway, back to our list. I sidetracked us.
But
enough.
much like a single Metallica song,
Yes.
we don't want this episode to go on for 8 hours. So what we're going to do today, we're going to share for you guys our top 100 to 81. And then at another time, we'll go 80 to 61, 60 to 41, and so forth and so forth. And as we get closer and closer down to our top 20, maybe we'll do like a full, album by album
Review,
discussion.
Yeah. Best of. Doc
I mean,
Brown.
top 20 is a big deal. So I figure, once we reach that point, we can do, this is my 20, this is my 19. But for now, we're going to do it similar to the way we do our honorable mentions at the end of the year. So we're just going to talk through we're going to talk through a handful of these albums, and then we're going to highlight a few of them for you guys. We're going to share the
Sounds
music.
good.
And then maybe later this week, I'll go, if you guys subscribe to us on YouTube, at the youtube.com/theskinnyofficial, where you can get this episode if you wish. Later this week, I'll share the playlist for you guys if you guys want to listen to those songs without color commentary. But
that's the best type.
it's the
Listening
best.
to songs.
I mean, I don't want monochrome
Right.
commentary.
Listening to songs while two unknown people talk about why they like them.
I really like My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade.
It was a good album. This part where the
It's
guitar goes
literally
up and the vocals go down?
One of my favorite albums.
That was cool. Get out of my room, Mom! God! Oh, sorry.
Liza Minnelli was a great addition to this. So we're gonna do that. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Shall we get started?
We should, because nobody wants to hear what's happening with Johnny Craig. He's alive.
Johnny Craig's alive. That was in the news. He had some surgeries from some black problems. For some, did I say black problems?
He has black problems
He has
and
black
back problems.
and back problems.
So racist, Mike.
Oh, whatever.
It's okay. He's not dying. He's just going to get hooked on pain pills and then die later on.
Relapse.
When he's about 48.
Yeah.
He's actually going to make it well into his 40s.
He looks 48.
Well, he's 30.
Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs.
Too late.
So
anyway,
that was the only
on
thing
to
in
a
the
bunch
news.
of drug addicts. Let's
Yeah.
talk about our albums. Number 100, Dance, Gavin Dance.
Oh, is that really your 100?
No.
Okay.
I was going to say
so,
for you.
do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
Well, I forget who usually goes first, but I guess I can go first.
Okay, you can go first. Adam, start however you want to start, but I'm
Okay.
going to highlight my number 100 album.
This is a long list that I have. It takes up 3 normal-sized 8.5 by 11 pages.
Okay.
But what unfortunately I did was not delete my numbers 101 through 178.
References.
So, and then I stapled this already, so it's already done. I can't go back and change it now. It's been stapled.
There's literally no way to go back.
Never again. Anyway, I got to throw in my number 101 to 105 as
Go for
just like honorable mentions.
What's your 105?
Because all of these albums on my list were 90% or better. So I'm starting off with
Top
just
tier.
just my flat 90%, which are 9s out of 10s. So number 105, and again, I ranked all of these from albums that like in order of how I liked the album, which album I liked more.
Yeah,
or less,
because you have a
et
lot
cetera.
of tiebreakers.
Right. So number 105, Bone Palace Ballet.
By Chiodos.
Their 2007 near masterpiece.
Second album.
second album, near masterpiece. Some great tracks on there.
What's the song that you didn't like?
I can't remember because they're the ones that like
that
do
one album, that one song.
The one
okay, I know what you're
that's
talking about.
a sentence long. Like the cows in the field are eating their grass and they're gonna poop later.
Is it Progression if a cannibal uses a fork?
I think I like that song.
That's a great song. That's the opening track.
My number 104 album, Thursday, Full Collapse.
Their very first album.
Their very first album, great album.
Great album.
Give it that much.
Mm.
One song that's not good. Not sure which one it was, but it's still good. It's still good.
Even now the robot starts to think. I wonder what it dreams now. The robot starts to think. I wonder what it dreams.
Because Thursday and that album, I discovered Thursday right around 9/11. Because for some reason MTV2 became a thing and they played nothing but videos.
Understanding in a Car Crash.
Yes. And
that was a big song for them because that song made the MTV video waves.
And I would watch the loop of videos on MTV2 and I knew everything that was anything in 2001. Most of it's really bad. But I remember liking that song, but then not hearing anything more from this band afterwards because, 9/11.
Right.
And then they fell off my radar until Mike reintroduced me to them in 2011.
So Mike was like, hey, have you ever heard of my favorite band? It's like they're called Thursday. It's like, like the day of the week.
They had that song.
Yeah.
Back.
And several masterpiece albums.
Yes.
We'll probably talk about that in the coming weeks.
My number 103 album, Our Last Night, with We Will All Evolve.
Ooh, their second album.
Their second album, their 2010 near masterpiece once again. This is kind of the beginning of them finding their sound, and then they've kind of been carrying it well into...
A lot heavier than their first album. Not that their first album wasn't heavy.
The first album just didn't have that catch factor. But this one...
it had some hooks, but...
This one definitely, they got it right.
Yeah.
Number 102, A Day to Remember.
Ooh.
My only A Day to Remember album on this entire list.
Oh, cool.
What Separates Me From You. My favorite album. And probably the only album... That's not that album.
Damn it!
All I want is a place to call my own.
Oh, yes.
Hearts of everyone who feels alone.
Oh.
It's a great album. But
The Color Morale.
It's nice and short. It's like really short, so that helps. But really, this was probably the only album that was worth being mentioned of my best of discography in 2012.
Okay.
But this was 2010's album. Really good stuff. Number 101, the last one not to make the list, was Misfortune. A Spark to Believe.
A Spark to Believe.
Adam
loves this album.
I do love this album. So just saying everything that comes after this, I love even more.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of crazy. So that was my last album to not make the list. I hope that band does something soon. They keep on.
I saw another thing. Mikey Sawyer did an interview.
Podcast.
Oh, he did. That's what it was. Podcast.
And they keep on posting like, hey, guys, we're practicing again. Like, we've been waiting since
2 years ago
2014 for another album. But anyway, my number 100 album.
I know we're down to 100, and that sounds like a really big number, really
but then
large
you remember
number.
that this is our podcast.
This is our show.
And we do what we want to. Yay, 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 yeah.
But also I wanted to reiterate, like, these are our... We listen to
favorite
dozens of albums each year, and we've lived decent lives.
And this is going back many years because Mike and I started listening to music back in for me it was the 90s.
Yes. For me it was the aughts.
The aughts. So this is like decades of love for music. So this is my first one I'm going to bring up here. This one was almost a perfect album, and we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. And I'll just click on the opening track.
Ooh, My Chemical Romance. I brought you my bullets, you brought me your love.
And we just discussed how, like, this was the introduction to this band. Gerard Way saw the Twin Towers fall, and he said, I'm going to make a band. And 2 years later, this album came out.
Terrorism with a band. No, but yeah, he loves sharing that story. Because he was working for, I think, Cartoon Network at the time. He was a storyboard artist, I believe.
I'm sure.
And he...
Gerard, everything's so dark and black. You should really write songs about vampires.
Yeah. But I believe, like, the tragedy of 9/11 made him reevaluate his life and what he was doing. And starting a band made sense for him because he wanted to give back in an artistic way instead of, like, drawing some other people's stories and doing a job that's miserable to him for pay that's like nothing.
So since I went backwards with this band, I think of course, everybody heard Three Cheers first,
including me. Yes, I heard.
And then most of us went back and heard this album, and surprisingly, it's pretty damn good.
It's dirty. It's got that East Coast dirty punk sound to it.
Yes.
Just like with most people, I believe, I heard Three Cheers first. Bought this album for $23 at Best Buy.
Holy shit!
I don't know why.
God damn.
It's one of those
terrible
supply and demand kind of things, Like, oh, you love yourself some My Chem. We got some more My Chem for you right here.
And then you said Jeff Rickley of Thursday fame
produced this album.
Yeah. And
on
then
Eyeball Records.
And they must have got a really good following from it, I imagine.
From
all the cool kids.
I mean, yeah, because they had that. They also have a documentary that was released. I forget the name of it. It was a live album that was released after Three Cheers. But yeah, there's a documentary in there that kind of chronicles Mike Hemm's journey and their early underground fandom, which got them the attention of Warner Brothers.
Yes. So there's definitely a huge shift in their sound into the next album, much more everything friendly,
grandiose, much cleaner.
Oh yeah,
much more refined.
Didn't have that Jeff Rickley production stank.
Jeff Rickley, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's only in one of the best alternative bands in the world.
With his poisonable face.
He's so robbable.
Robbable. That's an old callback at this point. But
the
still,
references.
Near masterpiece. Not a perfect album, but pretty damn close. There's like one track on there towards the end that is just a little too thrashy, and it doesn't have as good of hooks as the rest of the album.
Yeah.
So number 100, it's a good start.
Good start, yeah. Demolition Lovers, the final track. I feel like it goes on a little too long. I feel like that song is a little too long, but good choice. That is a good choice. All right. So before I get to my number 100, I don't have honorable mentions because I format my lists after I'm done with them like a normal person.
But you delete all the fat.
I cut the fat. Isn't that what we do in this show? We cut the fat.
Did you
news stories of the day?
Did you listen to 250 some odd albums like I did?
For the last, on and off for the last
6 weeks?
Not 6 weeks, for the last several months.
Okay. When
I first said I was going to do this.
That's right. You started this whole thing way back when we were going to self-help.
Something like that.
You had the idea to
I had the idea. I didn't put it together until summer and didn't seriously start hammering down on it till winter.
And I just crammed it all into 6 weeks.
Like a normal person. Yeah.
Anyway.
So Adam explained the way he ranks everything. He takes all the songs that he enjoys, divides them by the total tracks that he quote unquote counts. Because sometimes he's like, oh, that's an interlude.
Like
we don't
didn't count
that.
the intro track on this
one.
Yeah,
romance.
It's just dumb. Anyway,
it's kind of pointless. But anyway, so he does that, and then he gets a percentage, and then he sorts that. And then that's how he makes his list. He goes from there. Me, I do it like a normal person, which is why my lists are always...
I cut mine up into different percentage brackets.
I know.
Then did it by feel.
I give Adam a very hard time, but that's fine. I respect his process. But me, these are my favorite albums.
Favorite.
Yes. So I'm sure we're going to get into some disagreements in the coming weeks about what constitutes a good album versus, because Adam's list is more scientific.
I would say these are all my favorite albums.
Yes, I agree with you too. But yours is ranked in a very clean, scientific thing. I mean, you can put your spreadsheet out there and be like, okay, this makes sense. These are your 100 albums. These are your 95s and so forth down to 90. Right? So it's very clean cut. Boom, right there.
Boom.
For me, I was like, this album feels better. This album
just
means more to me.
Just wait until we get
it.
to all the perfect albums.
Oh,
39 perfect albums.
I know
that I had to rank.
That's going to be fun
by feel.
Yeah,
that was tough. But anyway, tell me what your 100 is. I'm waiting.
So my number 100 out of the dozens of albums I've listened to my entire life, probably hundreds of albums I've listened to my whole life.
I'm sure
is an album. What year is this? Adam, help me out.
Did we sing it?
Ooh, this is 2004's
2004's Chuck by Sum 41.
The beginning. Well,
yeah. So Chuck is, I believe, Sum 41's breaking out album. They came to they came into the public eye in 2002 with All Killer No Filler, an album that I enjoy, and it was my introduction to the pop punk world, so to speak.
Apparently, they partied more on that album than any time in their career. You can learn that from Guitar Center Sessions on YouTube with Derek Whibley, 2011.
I've got it on my Watch It Later on my YouTube.
That's the only thing you'll learn from that interview. Anyway.
The song we're listening to right now, We're All to Blame, is the first song I heard on this album. It is a song that piqued my interest, that got my eyebrow raised, like, whoa, Sum 41 can write heavy as fuck shit.
Heavy as fucking shit.
And this album as a whole is very varied musically. It's very, I feel like it's a statement to their listeners and potential new listeners to say, like, no, we aren't fat lip, we aren't in too deep. We've written those songs, but that's not who we are. This is an album full of our inspirations. This is an album full of our influences.
Yes.
And boom, we just want to write you a nice, heavy.
This was one of the albums that drew me to this band even more so, and I wish they would have shed their skin and left everything else in the past. But that's okay, because they are who they are.
We talked last year when we went to their
show in November.
I forget what it was called.
Don't call it a Sunback.
Don't call it a Sunback, yes. And how kind of weird it was, how you can tell a lot of the people who were there were just there to listen to two songs, and despite the fact that they have this entire
Toxicity by System of a Down. Let's not forget that.
and despite the fact that this band is very underrated and they have a huge discography of wonderful songs and wonderful tracks and wonderful concepts for albums, and people tend to dismiss them because of Fat Lip and Into Deep. My girlfriend included.
My wife still.
Yeah, my girlfriend included was part of that camp until I introduced her to Chuck and Screaming Bloody Murder and 13 Voices, and now she's a big fan of Sum 41.
She loves it.
Right. My number 100 album. Congratulations, Sum 41.
Will they show up later on my list? We don't know.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say definitely no. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm saying that album in particular.
Definitely no album, and no Sum 41 album ever.
Ever. Okay. All right. So now you know I'm getting serious with this one. My number 99 album is Beggars by Thrice.
Oh! You love this album.
I love this album. It's a 90%.
Beggars.
It's a near masterpiece.
Yeah.
Give it that much. It's a 90%.
Nice.
So that's the last of my 90%ers.
Cool.
So everything from here on is 90.9%.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all 10s out of 11s.
Nice.
So my number 98 album is August and Everything After by the Counting Crows.
Oh, cool.
Their opening album
that?
from 1993. Yes.
Okay.
Still a great album. Still stands up 20 some odd years later. I had no idea how much that album influenced bands like Matchbox 20 because when I listened to that Matchbox 20 album, I was like, oh God, this is
a lot of adult contemporary / alternative bands from the 90s like took their inspiration and took their cues from the Counting Crows.
They were very different for early 90s. And there's still some great songs on that album. I recommend it to everyone. My number 97 album is Dear Agony by Breaking Benjamin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So that's a 10 out of 11.
That's 2009, I believe.
2009, right? Exactly. Still, Mike and I, we've debated whether this band is good or bad, and I hadn't listened to them in several years.
They're hit or miss for me.
And with Dear Agony, it turned out that it was my favorite album out
Cool.
of their entire discography.
Very cool.
Yeah, good stuff on that one. Number 96, nobody's favorite band, The Almost.
Wow.
With Monster Monster.
Oh, wow.
The only good album from that band thus far.
Cool. Not even Aaron Gillespie likes his band.
But still, like again, I hadn't listened to that album in a good 3-4 years. So going back and listening to it again was refreshing.
Cool.
And fun. My number 5 album. Or 95 album. So this one you may be familiar with by... Or you may have... What's the Troy McClure line? You may
remember me from such albums as...
There it is. You may remember this album from such lists as my 2016 best ofs list.
Ooh.
In my top 10.
Not deep cuts, shallow cuts.
Sorry, my top 10 list of 2013.
Okay.
Sorry, we did that list just
In
last year as well.
2016,
So, yeah. Which album or which track do I choose? Oh, I'll just choose the one that I played on that show because Mike didn't know who it was when I first listened to it.
Yeah.
You know who it is now, right?
Still don't. Hands like houses.
There you go.
There you go.
With Unimagine.
Unimagine.
2013's near masterpiece.
Uh-huh.
My number 3 album of 2013.
Cool. I remember, yes.
Yeah.
Upon our 2.0 list.
So this band, once again, knows how to write a killer hook. The only thing they don't know how to do is write a memorable
album. That's my band. That's my one issue with this band.
You can tell that they're super talented. This dude can sing. After listening to him on the Lead Singer Syndrome, he knows almost everything about recording. So he will most likely become a producer in the near future and give up this band.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's very little that like gives this band that big giant jump up. But the dude can write a hook.
There's a line that 21 Pilots says in one of their songs, "Never trust a song that's perfect." I think that might be this band's problem, is that they're too good.
They're too good. They're too smart.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing. Like there's like sometimes I like a song. Sometimes I like a band that has a little bit of grit that kind of, despite their shortcomings, still manages to make a good album. Because it has that. Maybe it's more relatable that way. When you hear an album that's great and almost flawless,
right?
According to half this podcast,
and even the follow up to this one was almost flawless as well.
Exactly.
So
maybe that just kind of, I don't know. It's a weird feeling. Despite being great, it's like
we're not going to go to their show.
No,
I'm not going to buy any of their merch.
Nope.
I don't even know if I like them on Facebook right now. But
that they're number 95.
Right. It's
greatest
weird.
album.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
So I think it's also because their first album, Ground Dweller, is so not good in comparison to these last two albums.
I think it's okay.
For me, it was a 4 out of 12.
And
way towards the bottom of my list, with like 1 or 2 really standout songs.
Okay.
So, So anyway, Unimagine, my number 95 album of my life.
Nice. Of life. I like that we can say that now.
Yes.
Number 99. Swinging back over on Mike's list, the Into the Woods EP of Monsters and Men.
Oh, that's right. That was like your number. That was somewhere in your 2012.
2012,
top 10.
yeah.
Because you haven't ranked those yet.
Originally, yeah.
Someday
was that my 2.0 list too?
Yes.
Okay. The debut album for number 98 by Royal Blood. We're going to be looking forward to their follow-up album later this year.
They ended up further down on my list, somewhere between 101 and 178.
Yeah, on re-listen, especially knowing that this is just a duo, one dude on bass and one dude on drums with the dude on bass on vocals.
Right.
Like, knowing that and knowing how intricate these songs are, it's
crazy.
It's so great.
It's like, no, they probably just like layered the bass over and over and over again, spent years working on it. But anyway, number
97. This is a recent favorite of you and me, the Hurt EP.
Yes.
Hawthorne Heights.
7 out of 8 for me. But
yeah,
good stuff.
Good stuff. Great songs. I think that's, technically speaking, Hawthorne Heights at the height of their powers.
It's in my top 200.
Good.
But not my top 100.
And then coming from the latest EP to the debut EP of When Senses Fail, From the Depths of Dreams, all the way back in 2003.
Is that really that good?
I love that album, dude.
I can't stand it whenever I listen to
Remember,
it. But
my favorite... These are my favorite records.
Yes.
Because there is... A lot of these hold a personal meaning to me. So a lot of stuff is relatable to me at some point in my life. And a lot of it introduced me to a whole new world of either this kind of band or this kind of music. And it's just carpet rides as well. Genies. Hot Middle Eastern chicks.
Robin Williams.
So my number 95, I would like to highlight for you guys.
Please do.
Is an
this
album.
Is very exciting.
I don't think you have heard this. It's an EP. One of my favorite EPs, of course, of all time. And it is a side project. I can say that because this is the only thing that this band has ever released. And
Speak the truth?
Huh?
Like Speak the Truth?
Not Speak the Truth.
Okay.
The band is called Cinematic Sunrise.
Ah, yes.
This is the EP, a coloring storybook and long-playing record. This is Craig Owens' pop-punk, I guess more pop.
This is between when he left Chiodos and then he went to drugs.
This
right?
is post Bone Palace Ballet.
Yes.
And before he left the band the first time.
Yes.
And the keyboardist on this is Bradley Cooper.
Cooper.
Yeah. From Chiodos.
Yes.
The guitarist on there is Nick Martin, who also became from Undermined, who also became the guitarist on one of the guitarists on Drugs. And then the other three are just guys from different bands that I don't know who this. So there's no way to find out who they are.
They only had an EP?
They only had this one EP, and it was intended just based on interviews that I've read and I've heard of Craig Owens that there was always an intention to release a full-length album at some point. But of course, when you do supergroups like this, from everybody's in their own solo bands or their own full touring bands, like it's hard to schedule all that stuff together.
Yes.
And this was around the time also when Craig Owens was like, oh, I want to do Chiodos. Now I want to do this. Now I want to do a solo project. Now I want to do this, which I think ultimately got him kicked out of Chiodos.
Probably.
He tries to stretch himself too thin, and
he's got to bang chicks on top of that.
He's got to bang chicks. He's got to do drugs, and then form a band called Drugs. I love this. I love this album. All of the lyrical sensibilities that Craig Owens is great at, put through a pop punk filter with some really talented guitarists. A lot of these songs are keyboard driven, which is great because I feel like a lot of Chiodo songs are not integrated with the keyboard element a little too much. So now I'm gonna say Bradley Cooper gets to shine in this EP. It's a wonderful 5-track, 7 if you get the special edition.
I feel like in Illuminatio, he definitely
was
made known. But more about that album later.
That album's not showing up ever again, Adam, as I stare into the imaginary camera. I feel like this album this EP was a little bit of a wasted opportunity. I feel like this could have been something big if it turned into a full-length album.
Well, now that it's been 7 years or so since it came out.
2009? Yeah, 2009 this EP came out.
I think Bad Channels is going to be a thing for a little while.
Oh, I feel
until he kicks himself out of that band.
Yeah.
Guys, I can't work with you anymore. Oh, sorry, guys.
Shut up, Craig.
You don't know what you're talking about. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do, Craig.
It's just him without the ski mask and with the ski mask.
He does the ski mask on and off. I love it.
Anyway. All right. So this will be my 94 through 90.
Let's do it.
All right. One of my favorite Bullet for My Valentine albums.
Ooh.
That would be 2010's Fever.
That's a band that
I'm much more into than you are.
Yeah.
But man, can those guys write a good metal hook. And I enjoy them. I enjoy their Metallica. Metallica? I don't know what it is. But yes, Fever, the final good album from Bullet for My Valentine. So, that's
really
a really
quick,
good album.
and I'm not going to cut this out of the show. Can you turn the fan on when you go to or now?
I sure can. Why don't I just do that right now?
Steaming hot in here. There we go.
It's 50 degrees outside.
But but it's 102 in here.
So there's only one poor song on that Bullet for My Valentine album, and it's the one that made them famous-ish.
What song is that?
I can't remember the name of it, but it's a terrible, terrible song.
Is that that's their first album?
That's their third album.
Third album, okay.
Yeah. So my number 93 album would be ASD.
Oh, by a Skylit Drive.
Autism Spectrum I'm sorry, a Skylit Drive. Mike and I have talked about this band plenty. We know that album was definitely not our favorite, a Skylit Drive album.
Around number 6, right, of 2015?
Yes, both of our number 6s.
That's right.
But still a very good album nonetheless.
Yep.
One bad song because of one bad chorus towards the end.
Oh, yeah.
The rest of the album is great, but that one bad chorus, find a way, we will find a way. When there's nothing left to say,
we will find a way.
A way. And sorry, you're not a perfect album because of that. Anyway,
Nice.
number 92, Deja Intendu.
Oh,
By the band
brand
New.
new.
I hadn't listened to that album for quite some time.
2003.
Near masterpiece.
Near masterpiece.
It's definitely not one of the albums that I listened to very much, but holy crap, when I did go back and finally listen to it again, it's fucking awesome.
Lots of memorable tracks.
Lots of memorable tracks, including Mike's saddest song of all time.
Oh.
I think it was your number one saddest song of all time. Toward the track towards the end.
If it makes you less sad.
Yes. Was that your
I'll
number
die
one
by
sad
your hand.
song? When we
I
did
can't remember.
Valentine's Day last year?
I don't remember.
When you were sad.
Yeah.
Apparently that's better than Behold the Hurricane, but whatever. Whatever you say, Mike. Whatever you say. It's your list.
Hey, remember, it was the songs I listen to when I'm alone and miserable.
Right.
I'm just saying, some of those songs make me feel more alone and miserable than other fucking songs.
Got it.
There we go.
Number 91. Mike and I's favorite album from this band, and that would be Tree Metaphor number 3, Tracing Back Roots.
Tracing Back Roots
by
by
We Came
We Car.
as Romans. I just listened to our redone 2013 list. We gloated about this last year.
Such a good
There's
album.
not much to be said about how good that album is, but it's just great, and everybody should listen
We
to
Car at the height of their powers.
it. At the height of everything. So, my number 90 album. You may remember this album from such lists as Our Best.
Can you please keep doing that?
I will try my best to do it right. You might remember this album from such lists as Our Best Albums of 2015.
Oh,
And that would be
recent cuts.
one of the greatest albums by one of the worst bands to ever come out of the scene.
Oh my, the Fallout Boy.
And that would be American Beauty / American Psycho. Now, I know everybody hates this song because it's been overplayed.
Yes.
But luckily, I don't listen to the radio, so it never got overplayed to me.
Lucky us.
Lucky me. Now, the other one with the Monsters theme,
Which
that's track 4, I think.
the kids aren't all right.
Maybe the one after that.
Uma Thurman.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Everybody hates that song. I heard that at the trampoline park the other day. I was happy to hear that one again.
Yeah. It's good to hear music we know.
So, I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to absorb this band back at the end of 2014, but I was ready.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, this band is super popular.
You have to know.
I have to know what
You can't
everybody
criticize
thinks.
them unless you know.
And it was like shit album after shit album after shit album, then an okay album with Folie à Deux.
Bleh.
And then I was like, okay, I'm so done with this album, especially after Save Rock and Roll was one of the worst albums of 2013. So I was like, fuck, one more album to get through. And yeah, I don't know. Everything that they did with this album was almost right.
This was their comeback album, by the way.
And their fans can hate them for all they care, but I don't care because as a 34-year-old man,
Yep.
this album was what I needed in that moment.
Yes.
And it's still one of my favorite albums, and it's nearly flawless, except for that title track.
I do like Fall Out Boy's newer direction than their old kind of pop emo pandering kind of albums.
I hear guitar. Remember you said I can't hear the guitar in this album?
I know. I think I said in your initial review is that being the guitarist of Fall Out Boy is the easiest job in the world. You just gotta show up and pretend to play.
Anyway.
They do some good ditties. I appreciate Fall Out Boy and their willingness to try new things.
I'm kind of looking forward to their next album, though I am skeptical as to
course.
what might happen. But yes, my number 90 album of all time, Fall Out Boy.
That'll never change. It's always going to be there.
It's always going to be there until the next Fall Out Boy album, perhaps.
That's fair. That's very fair. All right, man. So, my number 94, Silverstein, Discovering the Waterfront. This is
There you
their
go.
follow-up to What's Broken is Easily Fixed. Easily, that was the album that the day I picked it up, I was like, okay, this band is now...
They're doing it right.
They're doing it right. Now they
Looks
can
like
put them on my
we
radar.
finally got it right. Yes.
More on that later.
That album made it to my top 200, but not my top 100.
Next up, some Shallow Cuts.
Ooh.
Because we just talked about this many a times, quite contentious, if I do say so myself. Misadventures by Pierce the Veil.
Go for it. Contentious.
Respect the process, Adam. Respect the process.
I got you. Number 90 was it 94?
93.
93 for you, 827 for me.
Sure, respect the process. I get it.
We're close. We're close.
Number 92, another EP. Craig Goins was involved in this.
Man, you and your EPs.
I love my EPs, man. The Hearts of Lonely People by Isles and Glaciers. Now, this is another supergroup Craig Owens did.
With Vic Fuentes.
With Vic Fuentes of Pierce the Veil, Johnny Craig of various other projects.
Of Hospital Room 27.
Of Hospital. Also, Nick Martin from Drugs and Undermined was in that as well. Bradley Cooper was in that as well.
In that as well?
Yeah, he was. Brad and Craig usually. Also, when Craig does his solo stuff, Bradley usually follows him to do the keyboard and mastering.
I felt it was a very 50-50 EP when I heard it, but Vic crooning about death and whatnot.
Why not? This is a recent favorite from you and me. 13 Voices.
Oh yes.
By Sum 41, a 91 album.
Good stuff.
Yes. So my number 90 album is another EP. It's a masterful EP, I believe, and it is not only that, it is also a concept album at the same time. This introduced. This is the band's debut EP. They broke onto the scene. I believe 2008 was when this EP was released, and this is the opening track after the intro thingy, and it's all about pirates, baby. This is the Voyage EP by In Fear and Faith. This is the only album of this band featuring Telle Smith on clean vocals. However you pronounce it, who is currently now of The Word Alive. Now this band built itself, I think, for the first two albums and this first EP on a very pirate imagery. Their songs are about pirates.
We're 18 years old and we want to be pirates when we grow up.
Exactly.
Did you guys all see Pirates of the Caribbean?
Bring Me the Horizon did, and now look at them.
It worked out for them.
Oh man, I love this.
Johnny Depp inspired so much of the scene in the late aughts, didn't he?
And just and they also inspired Escape the Fate with their silly scarves.
There you go. and black eyeliner.
And black eyeliner, exactly. Thank you, Johnny Depp. I love this EP for how fun it is and for executing the concept really well. I mean, it's. If I were about to tell you, hey Adam, here's 7 songs about pirates. Adam would immediately Adam would immediately take that album from my hands, roll his eyes, and then toss it over his shoulder in a comically fashion.
But I listened to it.
I love this.
Very familiar with it, of course.
Yeah.
But too bad this band died a miserable death.
A few
years later.
A very abrupt kind of end for this band.
Yeah. After one of the greatest albums they ever did.
Just like with Cinematic Sunrise, I feel like a lot of wasted potential here.
At least Telly went on to bigger and better things.
He did, yeah.
For an album.
Just like with Hands Like Houses, bunch of talented dudes. The bass stands out in some songs. The guitars shine. The drums are insane. The screamer here, who has been, I don't believe he's the same one. There's a screamer who has been the same screamer for the entire band. Is incredible, and he's like a highlight of he's a highlight of this band really easily. This song here is There Be Pirates Among These Seas. That's off the Voyage EP, my number 90 album.
Drink up me yardies, yo ho.
Yo ho, yo ho. Pirates, life for me.
I dressed up like a pirate when I was 6.
That's fun.
It didn't inspire me to be in a band. I had to make a pirate-themed EP. But
you should have.
I should have.
You should have struck while the iron was hot.
This was before Johnny Depp made it cool, so I just couldn't do it. All right, still moving on. These are all 10 out of 11 albums. We got a lot of 10 out of 11 albums to go. Number 89, Witness. Bless the Fall.
Blessed the Fall.
My second incarnation with this band. First with Boboken. The first one blew me out of the water. The second one obviously blew me out of the water, just not as much.
Yes, this was a very important album from the band too, because they just lost scene queen Craig Mabbitt.
Yes,
who was very prominent at the time and kind of made a name for himself for being the singer of and screamer of Bless the Fallen.
After his last walk,
That was a devastating loss for the band. So Bo Boken coming on was a good way for the band to reintroduce themselves and prove to themselves.
We all know which songs sucked on that album.
Hey, baby,
are
you alone tonight?
Without that song, perfect album.
Isn't that what they have to encore on all the time, too?
I guess.
Why
It's
not?
really retarded. Anyway, number 88, Major/Minor.
By Thrice.
By Thrice.
Woo!
My number 88 album of my lifetime. 2011's departure album, I guess.
They released this album before they announced they were going to break up in 2012.
Go back to their day jobs.
Correct.
Yes.
Starbucks.
Still, great album, great tracks about
respect the process. I don't need to say any more than that.
Number 87. We talked about this earlier, a couple months ago in December, but that would be 2016's Bayside album, Vacancy. One of my favorite albums of last year. I think it was number 5. On my
pretty
list.
high up.
So I don't need to look it up right now. I got too many lists going on.
So many lists.
But yes, lovely divorce, breakup, sadness, loneliness, loathing, wrap me up and send me into my grave.
If you want
at the end, but I'm okay because I'm dead.
If you want if you want an album that's going to put you in a sour mood, but in a beautiful way, check out Vacancy by Bayside.
I love it. My other favorite album of 2016, but my number 86 album of all time. What are we, Mike? I am Chemical Miracle.
We are Chemical Miracle.
Trophy Eyes' masterpiece from last year. Near masterpiece, except for the last song. It's poor.
Sure.
It's called something I can't remember.
It's a closer.
It's a 10 out of 10 up to that point, and then the last song just sucks it dry. So 2016's Chemical Miracle, great album. Number 85. And again,
keep in mind, we're still on 85.
I know.
Wow.
So
and you already said Chemical Miracle.
I don't know why I ended up with a lot of 2016 albums all right next to each other, but you would, once again, recognize this from that list. If I can find... oh, man.
Adam is currently searching through his iTunes, and I am not looking because I like the element of surprise.
Correct.
I hear rapid clicking, very angrily.
That's not what I was looking for.
And forceful.
God. It's really difficult when you're not staring at a computer dead on. You're just kind of looking at it from the side.
You can stare at it dead on if you need to.
My number 85 album of all time.
Well worth the wait. If I'm
Yes.
the Devil, you're currently listening to the title track off of that by Let Live.
We sure are. And now I've just picked the best song of that album.
Which was on my best songs list of last year as well.
It was. It was in my top 20, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't pass the cusp.
Sure.
But yeah, this album with its social commentary, even pre-Trump social commentary.
Trump ain't winning shit.
We never can trust Jason Butler again.
He's never going to release another album ever again.
But yes, everything about this album pretty much is perfect, except for Foreign Cab Rides. That's the only track that is not good.
We were very hyped for this record to come out. Very trepidatious when we started to hear that it was going in a new direction because they released Good Morning America was their lead single. And we were kind of, oh no, where's the Let Live that our daddies know of? Where's our daddy's Let Live?
He's like 29 now. He's becoming an adult.
This ain't your daddy's Let Live. This is the millennials.
And I just, again, listened to our Best of 2013 show, and we talked about The Black is Beautiful.
That's not getting brought up.
Nope.
Ever.
We're probably not going to talk about that one again, so we might as well just talk all about Let Live now.
Yep.
But yeah, what more is there to say? We've already discussed this album at length.
Booming vocals, great instrumentation, good lyrical content. It's political without being too preachy, I think.
Correct.
Which is important. If you start to preach a message, no matter what that message is, you come off as kind of a prick. So it's a good thing. It's a good that you need to strike a balance to get people thinking, plant the seed, if you will. I believe If I'm the Devil does a good job of that.
Very true.
Good choice,
throwing in some color to my list of mostly white men.
Is this your only album with a black man in it?
It's very possible. Sorry to say. Why don't like all these bands have black people in it? I don't understand.
They're I'm sure
It's
there's a lot.
Adam Duritz is almost black. I think he's just Jewish though.
He makes me uncomfortable.
I know.
My number 89.
Just because he's banged hotter chicks than you can ever dream of.
Emmy Rossum, Lindsay Lohan,
Jennifer Aniston in her prime. Talked about her last week.
Brawless Jennifer Aniston. Number 89 for me, Blink-182 with Blink-182.
Oh, okay. I went back and re-listened to that album. It didn't rank anywhere near my best ofs list, but still the best album that they did up to that point. Maybe. Until California.
We'll see.
No, I meant like if you're going to throw in Enema later in your list, we're going to have problems.
Respect the process, Adam. Respect the process. The UK's A Flash Flood of Colour by Enter Shikari. This is by far my favorite album from this band.
Very good album.
I'm going to throw this out a lot. Height of their powers. This band, just like with Let Live, great vocals, great instrumentation, great social commentary. A little more preachy than Let Live's last album, but I feel like the anger that's balanced on that album really sells that message.
Yes.
What else we got here? Oh, Panic at the Disco with their 2013 kind of reintroduction to the crowd. Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die. I seem to talk about this band a lot today, but Sum 41. It's Screaming Bloody Murder. It's my number 81. So my number 80.
81?
No, I'm sorry. 86.
86, I was going to say.
I don't have the number right next to my thing.
Oddly enough, Screaming Bloody Murder in my top 200.
Oh.
Not my top 100.
Interesting.
You know why? Because there's 2 really terrible songs on that album.
Oh, my.
So I'm just like, I can't give it any higher than
I'm
this.
a lot more forgiving than you, I suppose.
Yeah.
And also, I like to see an album as a whole instead of just picking them apart. Again, I'm respecting the process.
Those songs make that album not good.
Respecting the process.
Terrible album.
This is me respecting the process. So that leaves me with my number 85 album of all time. This is an album full of emotions. This is an album full of songs that I can relate to. It's a lot of songs that I don't relate to also.
I'm just happy that I reintroduced Screaming Bloody Murder to you.
I know, right?
You didn't even give that album a chance.
I was done with Sum 41 at that point, so thank you for that.
Yes.
My number 86 spot, thanks you for that.
There you go.
So my number 85 spot here, like I said, a lot of songs that I relate to, a lot of songs I don't relate to. I always think like, is this like one of their weakest albums? And then I listen to it again. I'm like, no, I like that album a lot. This is.
I know who this is. I can't place
Life Is Not a Waiting Room.
Census Fail.
By Census Fail.
Oh,
correct. This is their third full-length album.
Correct. The most self-harmful.
This is, to me, the Relapse album.
The Relapse album.
Yeah. This is the album where I believe Buddy Nielsen, in his personal life, was at his lowest, and I believe the lyrical content is very apparent in that.
There you go.
But I believe that made for better art. He's very good at projecting his pain and his misery and his problems into his art, and it turns into some really good songs. It turns into a lot of like songs where you pity and then you kind of reflect onto yourself, and it's like, well, what about my life, and then sometimes you listen to some of these songs like the song Map the Streets, which you may remember from
Mike's sad songs list.
Mike's songs I listen to when I'm alone and miserable. This is a sad fucking song, dude. Yes. But sometimes you hear songs like this and it's like, oh my god, I relate to this. What does that say to me? But overall, the album is really in.
And this was your January through September 2016. Who would want me anyway? Despite anything that anybody else told him, Like, no, I'm just a stupid moron. Nobody likes me. I'm damaged goods.
I am
Just
damaged
like Buddy
goods.
Nielsen was in 2008.
Buddy Nielsen has a tattoo of a vagina monster that he calls Queefer Sutherland.
Yes. Yes, he does.
I don't know why I felt the need
He
to
knows
say
he got that tattoo for a reason, right?
Let's follow your bliss.
Oh, okay. I thought it was about that Queefer Sutherland. Okay.
Yeah, why not?
If you say so, I'll take your word on it.
Yeah, so it's. I mean, this song in particular, like when I'm feeling low and this song comes on, I'm like, oh god. Like, it does a great job of like reminding me of times in my life when I felt like I had nothing, when I felt heartbroken, ripped to shreds,
Damaged goods.
damaged goods. Queefer Sunderland. Oh man. So it's an album I do like to, even today, like I like to re-listen to it. Just as a way to remind myself of like that side of myself that I have that's really in pain all the time, and like, you know, you can never really get rid of that in your life, but you can learn new ways of like coping and things like that. So it's a good reminder.
Just cover it up with alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. Like I do all the time. I don't drink.
Like Buddy did for a long
Yeah.
time. Anyway,
so life is not a waiting room.
We all know, Mike, 2 beers. I can't feel my eyeballs.
My eyes! I can't see!
I'm blind.
I'm blinded!
All right, so I just talked about Let Live. So my number 84 album, the next near masterpiece, was 2005's beautiful album by Thrice, Visu.
Visu, 2005. This is their change.
This is a big change. I would have been so
Big
pissed
change of that.
if I had been like a hardcore Thrice fan, and then I'd be like, "Oh, Artist in the Ambulance, cool."
I was
like
right
that,
here.
that was awesome. And then like, oh, this album's going to be so heavy and incredible, and I'd be like, "Oh God, this band is not my daddy's Thrice."
I had read that my daddy's Thrice was no more, and then I picked up Visu, and as soon as the first track played, Image of the Invisible, I was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what they sound like. This is amazing.
Right, and then by track 4 with Atlantic, I'm just like,
Oh.
I love this band so much.
We
The only track
dream of ways to break
that's
these.
not Atlantic, but
That's in Visu.
that's track 3.
I know.
But
Atlantic is that really wonderful electronic
yes,
keyboard-driven track.
I think the track I don't like is Of Dust and Machines or whatever that one is called.
It's towards the end. Of the Dust of Nations.
Dust of Nations. Put your faith in modern steel.
Yeah.
Dumb song. Anyway, the rest of the album is great. Number 83. Uh-oh. Mike's going to be mad
Oh, no.
because this is probably closer up on his list. But Thursday's near masterpiece, 2006, A City by the Light Divided. Great fucking album. Do you remember you gave me this album and I said, this album sucks. Why did you give me this album? Remember I said that back in 2008?
The process.
I had given up on Thrice when they broke up back in
Yep.
2011 because why would I listen to a band that was not together
Ew,
anymore?
they're never gonna release new music.
But man, what a great album. And the only song I don't like is the one where he talks about flying in an airplane.
At this velocity.
Yes.
Do you know he almost died?
Yeah, he's talked about a car crash in every single album.
No,
I get it.
He almost died in a plane crash.
He's almost died many times.
He almost been mugged. He's almost been poisoned.
And
he almost died in a plane.
and a car crash.
A car
and-
crash?
Yeah, I get it.
How many lives does Jeff Brinkley have?
I just don't like that particular track, but everything around it, because that's like right in the middle.
May I ask
5 or
why you
6.
do not like that track? Is it too heavy for you?
It's not too heavy for me. Like, oh God, this is the heaviest song I've ever heard. No, I just don't like the lyrical content of the 5,000 feet per second, 6,000 feet off the ground, or whatever it is. Is it?
We'll meet me in the aisle, press our hands together, or we'll speak into the black box, and it goes, Mother, Father, can you hear this? I want to thank you for your sweetness.
Got it. Just not one of my favorite songs.
You get it? Because they're speaking into the black box, because they're going to die.
I got it.
Adam, they're going to die.
I got it. My number 82 is the near masterpiece of 2014 that was my number 4 album of that year, Happiness Is, Taking Back Sunday.
Sunday.
Number
Ooh.
82
Such
of all
a
time.
Good record. Oh. I just talked about a record that has a lot of relatability to it.
Oh,
Holy
God.
shit, did that album come out at the worst time of my life.
Right before the worst time of your life.
It came out at just the right time.
Just
I
the
feel
right
like,
time.
You know?
And I just realized that I haven't done my math correctly on some of these, so things will be changing. But anyway,
no.
my current number 81. Oh, man, that would have put Thursday at my 81. So, okay, well, Amity and Taking Back Sunday have to move down because those are 90%.
Okay.
But
So Thursday. Woo! Good job, Thursday.
should I play a song from it, or should I just play what
You can
my
just play what you
current
had.
81
Yeah, just play what your current
Okay.
one is.
So this one from one of our favorite albums of 2014.
Classical music. Okay.
Classical music, yes. Going back to the 18. Did my daughter just say she farted?
Your daughter said she farted.
I thought I was going to poop, but I only farted.
Come in here. I farted.
I sit brokenhearted. So should I play the song from this album that you hate, or should I play the one that you like?
Follow your heart, Adam. Follow your
Then
heart.
I will play my favorite track.
Oh. Ooh.
Instead of the one right
Feels
before it.
so good. This is Let the Ocean Take Me by the Amity Affliction.
So
I forgot to tell you before we recorded. My girlfriend this week just started listening to the Amity Affliction. She said,
nice.
"Hearting it."
Hearting it.
Yes.
How
She-
far into it is she at this
She
point?
said she's listened to 2 albums so far. She loves the bass and the punch you in the face nature.
Whoa. Did she start with Severed Ties, or did she start with the Glory Days EP?
I don't know.
Or
but
whatever. The first EP that's not very good.
It was a very quick text
Self-titled.
message exchange while I was picking up my daughter this afternoon.
Okay.
So I will clarify with her what albums is her, but she's quickly becoming a fan of the Amity Affliction.
So even we went to see them back in October, and it was almost like a 50% of the set we liked, 50% of the set we really didn't like. When they played this song, boy, were we feeling good.
Yeah, there's no denying that this band is incredibly talented, and they can and have written some amazing songs, some of which are my favorite songs of all time.
Of all time. Now on re-review, this album's going to come down a bit because it is only 90%.
Okay.
It's going to be closer to my high 90s.
Okay.
And 81 will be Thursday.
You did it, Thursday.
You did it. So I'm sorry, again, I failed the process, I failed my math, I failed our listeners.
I'm starting to respect the process a lot less now.
Of course, you're going to respect it so much less by the time
Oh,
we get to the
no.
top. You already
Oh.
know that.
Okay, that's fine.
Just because Thursday and Census Fail
I'm
won't
just
be
saying-
all in my top 10.
Maybe we won't talk about a city to light divided too much later. Maybe a few weeks later.
Maybe
a few weeks much later.
Or was it your 101?
Definitely not my 101. This is a band of Amity Affliction who definitely have a formula, but this is, especially this song right here,
The height of the formula.
this proves that even as formulaic as they can be, they still know what they can do, and they execute it so well.
This is the top shelf formula.
Yeah.
This is the Infamil.
This is Infamil. This isn't
Enriched
fucking Stater
with
brand.
nutrients.
Stater Brothers brand.
This isn't the stuff you get with your WIC card.
Yeah.
This is the stuff you pay $25.
This is the
and
stuff
it's
that's
gonna,
behind the plexiglass.
and it's gonna last a week. And
Yeah.
then you're gonna have to pay $25 more if you want your child to live.
That's some sweet formula there.
But still, great album. I'm glad I talked about it here because I love it, and
Yeah.
all these albums I love.
Yeah,
But-
we love all of these albums. I give Adam a
Agreed.
hard time, but oh my god, we love all of these albums.
Damn straight.
So
into
good.
it.
So we got a few more albums to talk about
Hey,
here.
Death, get fucked.
Hey, Death. Why don't you go get fucked there?
Now I have to go back and check all of my percentages, figure out what the fuck else wrong I did.
Yeah, we're gonna scrap this episode. I know
It's dead to me.
this episode's dumb.
Just like we messed up our 2013 best of list. Remember?
Adam, shut up! I'm talking about my 84.
Number 84 to
Which
81.
you mentioned already. Tracing Back Roots.
Ooh.
By We Came Is Romance.
That's the
My-
first close one crossover nearly that we had.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, in this little bundle that we have. Yeah, wonderful album. Great
Wonderful.
album. This is an album I wasn't even expected to be good because previous 2 albums kind of boring.
Yeah. Fourth album, kind of boring.
Again,
Third
kinda
album,
boring.
just right.
Goldilocks.
Sweet spot.
Number 83. We haven't heard from this band in a while. Rumor has it they're supposed to release a new album this year. But that would be Paramore with Paramore.
The self-titled.
The self-titled one from 2013.
Very good
Originally,
album.
that was one of my top 10.
Daydreaming.
That's
the closing track on Chemical Miracle that I don't like. They just covered
Featuring
Paramore. It was
Haley
weird.
Here we go. Another crossover for you and me. Number 82. If I'm the devil, you're the reason. Let Live.
Nice.
Fucking fantastic
That
album.
was pretty close to mine.
All right. So this is going to be quite the contentious. I'm sure this is going to get you quite upset. So I'm glad we're highlighting this one right now. So my number 81 album, closing out today's episode.
If this is anything by Brian Fallon, then you're dead to me.
Maybe I shouldn't. Is it worth risking our friendship to play
Risk
this?
it all.
But let me preface this by saying this is an album that even today I can re-listen to, and it takes me back to when I first listened to it, and it got me into this kind of music, and it got me into this scene. And even though I may have dropped off this band, midway through their career, I still am appreciative of this album. I still love the songs. Maybe it's for nostalgia's sake, but I do love the songs. Tell me why Human Clay is your greatest album. Number 81. I'll tell you about that later. But for now, we're gonna talk about All Killer, No Filler.
Oh, that's fine.
By Sum 41.
You can enjoy this for what it is.
I think this one gets a lot of nostalgia points for me. I do think the songs are enjoyable, even in the context of the record. I can listen to In Too Deep, whatever.
Well, yeah, you and the other 30-year-olds were really enjoying it at the show.
Yeah.
as they're leaning against the crowd, but I'm in too deep.
At that point, I was sitting down in the hallway.
Okay. I didn't know you could mosh to it, but you can. Apparently,
we learn a new
you
thing
can
every
mosh
show.
To In Too Deep. Go Sum 41 fans.
This is Sum 41's.
Your kids
debut.
are missing parents. Anyway,
this is their breakout album. They hit the mainstream with Fat Lip, a song that took everybody by storm. But
sure did.
But if you take out the two singles that they're known for, this is a single, by the way. It's Motivation.
Yes, I know. I don't know why you chose the worst song.
I love this song.
Oh, I'm sorry. We've made fun of it forever.
I know.
You like this one?
I like this song.
Oh my god. Okay.
Again, I think a lot of it is nostalgia goggles.
Gotcha.
But I can listen to those songs, and there's a lot of enjoyable stuff. I really enjoy the song "Crazy Amanda Bunkface." I like that song a lot.
I don't, but I understand.
That's fine.
I get you.
Respect the process. This is an album that put me in a great mood because it just transports me to this time where you can combine pop and punk and create a whole new genre.
Oh my god!
It was so mind blowing to me. This is how I imagine people who listen to Green Day for the first time may have felt in the early 90s, and this was my Green Day.
Because that was all I felt when this band came out, was they're just trying to be Green Day mixed with Beastie Boys.
And then Chuck came along, and
then Chuck came along, and they got really good.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway,
I think this band strikes a perfect balance for me of not being, especially this album here. It's not too poppy, it's not too punk to where it alienates people who don't like punk music.
This album's pretty short, right?
It's very short, yes. It's All Killer, Adam. No filler.
On that weird interview you'll watch with Derek Whibley, he talks about how this album took a year and a half to make.
That's ridiculous.
I know, because I was thinking it's not that long or even that good in the same way that they needed to take so much time. But whatever, it got them on the map.
Sure. So that's my number 81. This is fun.
I'm glad it wasn't Brian Fallon. But I know what you mean by the nostalgia points, because I'll be getting into much more of my nostalgia points albums.
Yeah.
Further down the road.
I have a handful of more nostalgia goggles on.
But mine go back to the 90s, where yours don't go back to the 90s.
Well, mine goes back to the early aughts, and that's when I started listening to music.
Right. But I started 1994.
Yeah.
So and then even prior to that, I have albums. So
yeah.
But not on this list.
Okay.
Nothing before 1992, 91, 90, somewhere around that.
What year was that Counting Crows album?
93.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure I have earlier stuff than that.
Very
But
cool.
I don't think I have anything from the 80s. It's like 90 and beyond.
So what do you say? Should we continue this conversation next week?
We shall.
All
We
right.
definitely shall.
This
and
is
I'm going to
fun,
make
yeah.
sure that my list is correct
Yes,
the next time we do this.
Redo your math so Thursday can get bumped up a lot higher.
Number 81 album, Thursday. A City I Light Divided. Great album. I just don't like listening about flying in planes.
Actually, Adam, he misspoke. He actually means that's his 8 through 1 album.
No.
Yes.
81.
It's all 8.
I told you, I spent 3 days staring at my top 10 list, moving
Yeah.
things around until they were in the order
I'm
that
glad
they needed to be.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one. This top 10 is
Tearing my soul apart.
yeah.
Part of
But
me
in a
felt
great way.
like I was ready to die as soon as I was done with this list.
Like even like taking something like, is that really number 9 or number 10? Like even like moving it down to 10 is like, oh, I shouldn't have done
God.
that. I shouldn't have done that. I feel so guilty doing that, but like that number 9 is so much better. Oh,
It's a difficult process. So
Mhm.
we should just coast on this for a while.
yeah. So we got plenty of like other, we got plenty of weeks I think until April, which is our next big release. Pending something huge that happens
Right.
either in our lives or in the music scene or something that we need to talk about. We'll keep doing this, and
Hope
we'll
you guys like it.
Yeah, please comment below if you enjoyed our list, and we'd love for you guys to share some of your favorite albums of all time. Don't blow your load in the comment section, all at once because we got more coming. But like, we'd love to like hear your thoughts and comments on any of the 20 albums that we talked about today.
Go for it. Do I have time to sound off?
Sound off.
Okay. So I listened to 2 albums this week.
Yep.
Moving on with The Living End, with Roll On is their second album.
Alrighty.
Have you given this band a chance yet?
Not yet.
We'll roll on with our heads held high.
And if you
Our
remember,
future's in the gutter, our dreams are in the sky. I don't
And
know
if-
why I know that song, but I know that song.
it's so weird how you seem like this. But this band is like
I know.
the back of your
I knew
mind.
2 songs. This was the last of the songs that I knew.
Cool.
But that was the opening track. It's a really good song.
Now, if you remember, if you listened to last week's episode, or if you didn't, Adam is listening to this band because he has a coworker who really likes this band,
She's attractive.
and she's attractive,
I
which
still-
means he has to listen to this album.
I haven't told her yet that I'm 2 albums in. I'm going to wait until I'm like 4 albums in so I can like have some cred.
Yep. It's like, oh yeah, I used to listen to that album all the time.
I like Australian punk. What of it?
Whatever.
Click on Roll On and see if you recognize it because I have no idea where I know it from. I might have heard it on a commercial, but again, I would have always thought it was Flogging Molly more than anything.
This does have that like Irish drinking punk.
It's about
It's about staying completely still and not going anywhere.
Do you know this?
I've never heard this before.
Well, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. I
Maybe
probably
you did
heard it
hear
in
it.
a commercial.
Yeah, maybe you did hear it in a commercial.
I read that the song was used in video games, but you play video games.
I do play video games. I don't play every video game.
I know.
Sometimes I wish I did.
So this album is a little bit of a departure from the last one, which was, really good, and this one kind of isn't. But no, it's got some really good songs on it, but
Okay.
it's got 14 tracks, and 7 of them are not very fun to listen to.
Okay.
But like, there's some really big standouts, like Silent Victory is incredible. Staring at the Light is really, really good. And it kind of ends well, like Killing the Right and Astoria, Paranoia. Those are really good tracks.
Astoria. Okay.
And Uncle Harry is all about their Uncle Harry who drinks in a bar.
Oh.
3 minutes talking about him drinking in the bar. Uncle Harry pissing in the bar. Whoa, pissing in the bar.
So you're
And
saying
repeat.
so you're saying lyrical masterpiece.
Yes.
You give this album a 14 out of 14.
7 out of 14.
7 out of 14. Okay.
But on Modern Artillery, which is their 3rd album from 2003, I don't recognize anything on that so far.
That's an album I somehow know about, though.
Well, this band got progressively
Weird.
more popular as time went by in Australia. And back in 1998, they opened for Green Day, and all they did was send a demo and a T-shirt to Billy Joe Armstrong.
God
and he was
damn
like,
it.
He was like, all right, guess you guys are coming to open for us. And they did.
God
so
damn it.
Whatever.
Is that all we had to do?
Is send a T-shirt to somebody.
We had lots of shirts made.
We still have them, I'm sure, in a
We
box
can
somewhere.
find them if we looked.
We'll send the demo to Brian Fallon and the first among the fallen are back.
Joe, move back down to California. Frank, get out of prison.
Who?
We're going on tour.
And then I finished up Pup album
yes.
number 2.
I listened to that this week.
The Dream is Over.
The Dream is Over.
I felt like they didn't really push the envelope from where they were at in the first album. It was just as good as the first album. I wouldn't say it was better. It was a 7 out of 10.
I feel like even though I enjoyed this album, had I listened to it in 2016, I don't think I would have put it in my top 10 list, though. I think
No.
because of the unique nature of their sound, and I do enjoy their sound.
Tis unique.
It's a very.
If this tour doesn't kill you, then I will.
Yeah.
That was
I love
one
the,
of
I love the-
DSD's favorite tracks of 2016.
and I love
It's a good song.
the tone deaf nature of his vocals. I love it's. I kind of described it as a controlled chaos, in a way.
Yes.
And like I definitely would have, because of that, I definitely would have given it an honorable mention. I don't know if I would have put
it would have been in my teens.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have put it in my top 10 albums of the year.
Can't Win is a great song. I really like that one.
Yes,
Track
that is a
8.
great song. Yeah.
Probably my favorite track on the album. But yeah, good stuff. So now I'm going to spend many, many hours listening to Night Verses. Thankfully, Mike finally got me those albums. And
I've been telling you for like a couple years, like, this is a band I think you'll enjoy, but be forewarned, every album is 7 hours long.
well, like you're already an hour in, and then you get to the last track, and it's 9 minutes long.
Yup. That's
God
what Night
damn
Verses
it.
does.
So I'm going to enjoy that this week.
Are you liking their sound at least?
I do. It's a
Yeah.
very slow, grindy, like, he sounds like Tim McIlrath from Rise Against.
It's very def. A lot of people have been coining them as the new Deftones.
I never listened to the Deftones, but I'll take your
Neither
word
did
for it.
I.
I'm going with
But I know of their sound.
slow, grindy Rise Against.
Okay, that's cool.
I'll go
Well, I
with that
can't
one.
wait to hear your thoughts from there for next week.
Yes.
So, pending any sort of natural disaster that we need to bore you with on our show, I shouldn't say that. This is a great show.
There's never a natural disaster to bore people with.
Dams that are breaking.
New Nickelback albums.
Oh no, is that coming?
Apparently they released a new single that was really heavy, according to alternative press.
What?
And everybody put wow on Facebook.
Meaning they plugged in their guitars.
This is how you remind me of a photograph.
Man, now I have to listen to it.
Look at this photograph.
If alternative press likes
You know,
it,
it
I'm
always
sure
makes
it's
me laugh.
terrible. I don't know why I keep staring into like imaginary cameras.
I was just trying to think of the rest of those lyrics. Look at this photograph. You know it always makes me laugh. Why are our eyes so red? And what the hell is on Johnny's head? That's a verse.
And
2006.
They say that a hero can save us.
I'm not gonna stand here and wait. Featuring the guy from Saliva?
Saliva.
Nice.
I was gonna say spit.
Nice.
Thank you guys for checking out this week's episode. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and please go check out those bands because I mean that really like this is us. You know,
This is our lives.
These are our lives, and like this music shapes us. It shapes not only it shapes our music taste, but I feel like a lot of these albums shape who we are as people. You know, and I'm
Yes.
happy to share those with you guys. So if you guys, if you guys, I'm going to demand that you listen to all of it. There we go.
All 40 albums we just discussed.
Absolutely.
Except for
So
the 2 crossovers we had.
for my co-host Adam, I'm your co-host Mike. We'll see you next week, folks.
Monday morning, if not getting some.